the synonyms of SAP, or you can say ERP, okay, or ECC, Enterprise Core Component. Okay, so these are all different names of SAP. In SAP, you can call them. So ECC, Enterprise Core Component, or you can call it as R3 system. Okay, R3 is nothing but 3 layers of SAP. Okay, initially when SAP started, so all there are 3 layers in SAP actually. So presentation, application, and data processing. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So all 3 layers used to be in one place itself. So there, when you execute any transaction, so it used to take some time to execute that particular transaction. So later they made it into 2 layers. Okay. So presentation and application in 1 layer, and then database in 1 layer. So later, so for all the 3 layers in all the 3 instance in 3 different layers. So presentation in 1 layer, application in 1 layer, and database 1 layer. So that the system reaction will be faster. So when you execute any transaction, it will be like a single click, everything gets saved. Okay, or the data processing will be very fast. So that's why we call sometimes the system as R3 as well. Okay, so these are all a common terminology which will be used in SAP. Okay.
Okay.
Now, in R3 system, we have different modules. Okay. So like, as I said, there are different modules like sales and distribution. Okay. So suppose imagine you have a big manufacturing company. Okay. So if you are manufacturing any end product, it requires certain raw materials to be procured, right? Then you need to assemble them, semi-assemble, and then production. You need to produce it. Once the production is done, then only you will be selling, right? Then once the sales happens, then you need to provide the service. Okay, so during this process, you have a lot of plants, like the machineries where you install and then you produce the material, right?
Right.
So you need to have a maintenance of those machineries, right? And then you have so many employees working in your company. So you have to take care of the employees, their master record, their payrolls, how much you are going to pay, all that information. So these are all different departments which are part and parcel of any company, right?
Yep.
So those functionalities or those different departments in SAP are called as different modules. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
If I am procuring any material to produce my end product, okay, so I need some purchase department to take care of those procurements, right? So if I want to make a television, so I need so many spare parts or so many raw materials which needs to be procured and then needs to be assembled, right? So some department should be there to procure all those things. So certain things you will be manufacturing, certain things you will be buying outside and then getting them into your plant and then assemble and then sell, right? So to take care of such things, you have material management, wherein so to define your master data of your materials, how to procure, purchase requisitions, purchase orders, all that will be taken care by material management. Then you need to produce the material, right? So that is the work of a production department. So we have a different module to take care of all those activities which happens during production. That is nothing but production planning. Okay. So once the end product is ready, you need to sell the product, right? So there is one more module called sales and distribution, where they takes care of creating different inquiries, quotations, contracts, sales orders, all that stuff. It will be taken care by billing, deliveries, will be taken care by sales and distribution. And you have finance and control. So everything, whatever you do, everything has to be recorded in terms of finance, right? So you have finance and controlling. So if you are manufacturing certain things, you need to have a clear-cut idea that for manufacturing or to produce this material, how much I am spending, at which rate I am selling, and what is the profit margin. Okay, so that product costing you have to analyze. So if I am producing particular television at $500, so at what price I need to sell. So unless until I derive at a figure that $500 is what I am spending on each unit of my television, I cannot fix the MRP rate of the television, right? So for that to happen, you have different department called controlling or finance. So finance and control. So like that, every department will have a different module specific this thing in SAP. Okay. So this is R3. So this is very much established solution across the globe. Now CRM is not part of R3. This is altogether a different server. Okay.
Okay.
So as I told you, these different modules like material management, production planning, sales and distribution, human resource management, project systems, plant maintenance, finance and control, these are all part of R3 server. Okay.
Okay.
CRM is a new dimension product, which is not part of R3, but it is dependent on R3 or your SAP ERP system. Okay. So this is like a enhancement of sales and distribution module of R3 system. The functionalities which cannot be performed in R3 system can be performed in CRM system. Okay. So there are certain concepts of sales and distribution of R3 system being adopted in CRM system as well. Okay. The concept is built upon SD, with majority of the concepts of SD, and then so many other things built upon SD. So that is your CRM, customer relationship management. Like that, we have different new dimension products. So CRM is one such module, customer relationship management, and you have SEM, strategic enterprise management. You have APO, advanced planner and optimizer. Okay, you have SRM. So like this, these are all different new dimension products which are built upon the different modules of R3. Okay, so CRM is one of the new dimension products of SAP.
Okay.
So now it's clear, right? So you have differentiation between R3 as well as CRM. So R3 is one different box, CRM is another different box.
Yep.
Okay, but there you need to have an integration between CRM and R3 system, because lot of data the CRM accesses through R3 system only.
Okay.
Okay, so once you are into the subject, then I can tell you what is there in R3, what is there in CRM. So which data of CRM is equivalent to the R3 SD system, everything I will explain. Okay. So this is about brief, and then when it comes to CRM, you have three different capabilities. Okay. So one is marketing, second one is sales, and third one is service.
Okay.
So we are going to learn different topics of these capabilities. So in R3, we are calling each of those sales and distribution, material management, production planning as modules, right?
Right.
When it comes to CRM, we call them as capabilities.
Okay.
So there is small change in naming convention. Otherwise, it's everything like your SD, CRM sales is one such module. So like your material management, CRM marketing is one such module. But we are calling them as capabilities in CRM, but modules in R3 system.
Right.
So that's the only. Okay. So we'll be looking at the marketing capability, sales capability, service capability, plus base customization. Or you can call it as customizing fundamentals. So this is the base for entire CRM. So whatever topics which we are going to cover as part of base customization, so that will be base for your sales, service and marketing.
Okay.
Okay, so there may be in any of the implementations there might be a separate consultant only for base customization. So sometimes they may take a different or a separate consultant only for base customization, and a separate consultant for sales, separate consultant for marketing, service. So it can't be one guy for all the capabilities. So you can master one particular capability with good knowledge in other capabilities as well.
Okay.
Okay. So based on the processes you go through, and then based on your domain experience, whichever you feel that you are more explored or exposed to that particular this thing in your domain, so you can certainly choose that particular capability and then expertise in that with good knowledge in other capabilities as well. Okay.
Okay.
So that should be your main motto. Okay. So today we'll see the introduction of how the system looks like, then how to enter into the system. So what are all the options available in the screen? All that I will tell you. Okay. So I'll just log off from the system, and from beginning I will show you. So you need to install SAP Logon Pad on your system to access any SAP server. Okay.
Okay.
So I think they will help you to install that particular this thing on your system. Okay. So once the SAP Logon Pad is installed, you will find an icon like this icon. You're able to see?
Yeah.
SAP Logon, right? So you need to just double click that. So it takes some 5 minutes to install that particular software on your system.
Okay.
So for the first time it will be blank. Actually you are able to see some 3 entries here, right?
Yeah.
So these are all things which I have added. Otherwise it will be empty.
Okay.
Meaning to say that each entry is one particular server through which I want to log into, right? So this is one server, this is one server, this is another server. Okay. So to add that, they will do that, but still I just want to show you. So this white paper icon. So this is nothing but to create anything in SAP, you will find this icon, new. It's like a white paper. So where you want to create. So just click on new. Then you will get this screen. Just click on this next. Then here you can add. So what is the server you want to add to your SAP Logon Pad? So you need to give the description of that, and then these things Seasoft people will give you the specifications. So every server will have an application server number and instance number and system ID. So if these 3 things are properly maintained, then only you will get an access to the server.
Okay.
In case certain things are protected. Okay, in that case, you need to enter the router string also. So suppose you are in America, right?
Yeah.
The server is in India. So you want to log in the server from US. So you require a SAP string, router string. If you provide that string, then only you can have an access to the server.
Okay.
So irrespective of the place where the server is placed, if you have that a router string with the internet connectivity, then you can access any server from anywhere across the globe. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So once all these information is given, then you need to click on finish, so that this line item will be added. Okay. So if you click on this change, wherever you see this pencil icon, this is for editing. So if you want to edit anything, so you can select that particular line and then click on that.
Okay.
Now you can see. So this is the application server. This is the address of the server which I am trying to access. This is the instance number, and this is the system ID. Okay. So like that you can add.
Sure.
So once that is done, so if you want to log into the server, just double click that. Okay. So now this is the screen wherein you can log in into the server. So every server will have a client number, even in the real time. So it's based on the client's requirement. So client might say, I want to have a fancy number of 999 for my production server. So you can have that client number, or you can have 111 or 001, 100, whatever it may be. So there is a module called basis. Okay. So the server maintenance, taking the backup of the server, everything will be handled by the basis team. So they will do this. So defining the client number, all that stuff will be handled by basis guys. Okay. So this client number. So suppose say you can have multiple client numbers in one particular server, or you can call it as instance.
Okay.
Suppose this is one server. Okay. So in the same server, I can have a copy of the same server with different instance number or different client number. Okay. So I can have 800 as well as 801 also in this same server.
Okay.
Okay. I can use 800 for one purpose, 801 for some other purpose.
Okay.
So with 800 I will do all the required settings. In 801 I will do the testing. But I won't do any testing in 800. So that's why you can have multiple instances of the same server.
Gotcha.
So that's where the importance of this client comes. So if you want to test the scenario, just log into the 801. So if you are doing some configuration or some changes to your settings, then go to 800. So even your user ID and password are specific to your client number. So your user ID might be different in 800, your user ID might be something else in 801. Okay. Hello?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Then they will provide you some user ID. So whatever I am taking, this is all the same thing which happens in real time as well. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So some user ID they will give you. So take that user ID and then password. So for the first time, if anybody is given with an user ID, so the system will ask you to give your own user ID. Password. Okay. So you can change it, or else whatever is given by them, you can make use of the same password as well. Okay.
Sure.
Now say enter. After giving your password, say enter. So now you are taken into some other screen. So one more point I would like to tell you. Suppose say you forgot your password or you typed a different password. Okay, in that case, suppose I said some other password now, enter. Now system has said it's incorrect.
Right.
So if you try the same password or different passwords in the same screen, after 3 times, your user ID will be logged. Then you need to contact your administrator, then only you can release the lock, then only you can log in. So what I am telling you, so if you given a wrong password, just close the session, again click.
Okay, then restart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, to avoid this locking of your user ID. So this way you can try n number of times. It won't lock. So but in the same screen, more than 2 times, don't try.
Okay.
Okay. So this is one basic point. What happened? So user ID, password. Now this screen is called as SAP Easy Access Menu.
Okay.
Okay. So where this is for users. So but now think that you are a consultant because you are learning SAP. So when I say user, it is the guy who is going to use the system or perform his daily transactions. Suppose he is somebody is a sales clerk in one particular company. Okay, they implemented SAP. So he is going to perform his duties on SAP. So he is a user of SAP. But you are the guy who implemented SAP for that client, right? So here, whenever I say you are a consultant now. Whenever I say user, the user who is going to use the system. Okay?
Okay. Right.
So this is the screen for the user. So even you can also, while doing the testing, so you need to come here and then do the testing, right? So you test it and then you hand over the system to the user.
Okay.
Okay, so this is called Easy Access Menu, wherein what are all the transactions which can be performed in the system. So you can have a links or transaction codes. For those transactions you will find in Easy Access Menu. Okay.
Okay.
So once we start, I will tell you what all the things which you can find in this particular screen. Okay. So otherwise, we have one more icon on extreme left of your screen. If you can place your cursor. So any icon, if you are not sure what is that particular icon, just place your cursor and then wait for a second. Then it will tell you what is the description of that particular icon. Okay, now it's the user menu. So click here. Now see the screen changed, right?
Right.
Because user menu is specific to the user who logged into the system. So because see, whenever somebody implements SAP, you have multiple users or multiple employees who will be performing some transactions on the system, right? It's not that everybody perform all the transactions, right? So there is specific, one particular guy will be allocated with some sort of a work, the other guy will be with something else, right? So if somebody is there, will be taking care of only creation of quotations and orders. So some other guy who takes care of the contract creation. Somebody will be there who takes care of creating the deliveries. Somebody is there who raises only invoices, right?
Right.
So I need to control. So the guy who needs to create a sales order, he is not supposed to create an invoice because that's not his duty, right?
Right. Yep.
Based on the user, I will control in the system that what are all the things he is supposed to do, what are all the things he is not supposed to do.
Okay.
Okay? So that will be user specific. So when I log into the system or any user logs into the system, the user menu specifies that these are all the things which he can perform. So rest of the things, he won't be looking at them or he won't have any access to those transactions.
Okay.
Okay, that will be controlling. So the client will give the requirement. So this user should perform this transaction. The other user has to perform this transaction. So they will give all that information. So then accordingly we will define certain roles in the system. Then
Sure.
so that particular every user will have a role. So based on the role assigned to the user, his transactions will be controlled. Okay. So I will show you how to create a role and then how to assign a role to a user. So that is actually it's a basis job, but it's better to have an idea that what happens in role also. Okay, there are so many controls in the role. While defining the role itself, we have so many controls. Okay.
Okay.
So this user menu states that what are all the transactions he can perform. Okay, because I am a trainer, so I have so many roles being assigned. See, so I can be a sales professional, I can be a marketing professional, service professional. So everything get assigned to my user ID. So that's why my menu is so long. But in real time, it will be restricted.
Okay.
Okay.
So like for us, for employees of the user, so if I'm if I'm an employee of a company you're a consultant for, and then you give me access to only one of these things, so I would only have either Marketing Pro or Sales Pro, right?
Yes.
I won't see all, right. Okay. So I won't see all of this. Okay.
So that's the control.
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Okay. So again, if you click here, you will find SAP menu.
Okay.
Okay, but in the current version, so in SAP you have different versions. Okay.
Okay.
So suppose say I launched, you take any iPhone. Okay. When it launched, what was the version? 4 or something less than that. 4. So then they added certain features, then came out with a different version, 5, right? And then 4S, 5, 6. So they keep on adding different versions. So that's like a versioning, right? So even in SAP also, they are adding certain functionalities. So some new concepts to an existing system. So they will be changing the versions of the system, right?
Right.
So earlier, majority of the implementations of CRM happened in SAP CRM 5.0. Okay.
Okay.
So later they launched 6, then they launched CRM 2007, okay, and then they launched CRM 7.0. Okay.
Okay.
So now current trend is CRM 7.0. So that is the version. In the 7.0 version, you have this web user interface.
Okay.
Web user interface is like the screen what you are seeing is graphic user interface. So it's the technical name of your screen, what you are able to see, that is the technical name of your screen is graphic user interface. We call it as GUI.
Okay.
Okay. But in the CRM 7.0, all the end users or the users who are going to perform the transactions, there is no need to come into this screen for them.
Okay.
It will be like a web. So like how you are entering your Gmail or any mail.
Right.
Like that, some link will be provided. So they need to click on that. They will be directly logging into the CRM system.
Sure.
Like this. So suppose say I will show you. So I double click here. That is called as web user interface. This is graphic user interface. The end user is going to perform their duty in web user interface. So I need to use the same user ID here also. MTS CRM 13. Password already saved. So the user won't be touching our easy access anymore.
Okay.
But till CRM 5.0, they will be even the end user also logging into the system like how we did the same way, and then they used to perform transactions. But some 7.0 onwards, it will be a different option. Okay, now see. So because I have so many roles, I am able to see this many roles. So if the real-time user will be having only one role or two roles, so it shows with which role you want to log into the system. Okay.
Understood.
So you need to choose the appropriate role. Okay, now see. So this is the screen the end user will get now.
Okay.
So this is called as web user interface, and this screen is graphic user interface. Okay. So till 5.0 version, the end user as well as the consultant used to work in the same screens. But now the end user will work in this particular screen and consultant will work in this particular screen. So our settings, whatever settings we do or configurations we make in the system will be done through this particular screen, and then the end user will perform his duties in this screen. So there is a topic on this. So how these things are coming, so how to configure these, so how to control this, everything will be covered under one particular topic. Okay.
Okay.
So that is the difference between GUI and web GUI, web UI. Okay. So it is called as web UI, web user interface. This is graphic user interface.
Sure.
Okay, and then coming to other icons. So if you go to any screen, you will find one particular menu for that particular screen. So like this. So you have menu, have edit, favorites, extras. But if I go to a specific transaction, so this box is called command field, wherein if you want to reach a particular transaction, this is the shortcut to reach. Suppose I want to create a sales order. Okay. So there is a transaction code called CRMD_order. Okay. This is the transaction code to reach the sales order screen. Okay. So suppose I click or enter, or you can click this also, green S icon. Okay. So here you will find. See, now the menu options have changed. So in the previous screen it was something else, right? But here it is changed. Business transaction, edit, go to extras. Suppose I want to create. So click here, create. Suppose I want to create some quotation. Okay. So these are all different transactions which you can create. Now the options got changed. So what I am meaning to say, so based on the transaction you are going to perform, these options will change according to the screen you are in. Okay, except these two. So this system and help, they will be common. You go to any screen, these two are common. But rest of the things, they will keep on changing based on the type of transaction you run. Okay. Fine. Then I have an option of having multiple screens. So I can parallelly work in multiple screens. Okay. So how to do that? So there are multiple ways through which I can create one more session. You can call it as a screen or session. So see the extreme left icon on top of your screen. Okay. So click here. You have an option, create session. Okay. Now see, one more screen added. So this is one screen, this is the other screen. So if you want to see, so on lower part of the screen, if you place your cursor on the icon, it shows. Now two sessions are open. Okay.
Right.
So there is one more option called here. So this icon, if you click on this icon, create new session. So one more session added. So see here, 1, 2, 3, 3 sessions now.
Sure.
Okay. There is one more option like in the command field /u/o. Okay. You click /o and enter. One second. /o enter. This saying number of sessions. Okay, they restricted. Otherwise. So I'm adding now. Now see, system is saying maximum number of sessions reached.
Okay.
So I can work parallelly in 6 different sessions at a time. So in one transaction, I will be working on inquiry, creating an inquiry. In one transaction, I can create a quotation, sales order, contract, okay, some visit plan, or some segmentation. So there are so many topics, right? So one user can open up to 6 sessions.
Sure.
So that is what I am trying to say. And then to open a session, I have one more option also. Suppose say I am in this transaction. Okay, so now I am in search business transaction screen. So I want to keep this session alive, but I want to open one more transaction. Okay, so in that case, what I have to do, in the command field, enter /o followed by the transaction code of the next session what you want to open. Okay, /o BP. Suppose this is one transaction code to maintain your business partner, like your customer. Okay, /o BP. Say enter. Now see, one more session added, but the previous session is also alive. This screen is there. We have 2 screens now, right? Without clicking here or going there, so by using this command field itself, I can create one more session. Suppose my requirement is that my work in this particular screen is completed. I want to kill this session and then I want to open a new transaction. Okay? Suppose I am killing this. So I am closing this session. Okay? So now I am in only one screen, right? Only one screen. So now my requirement is I don't want to work in this screen, but I want to go to some other transaction. So in that case, use /n. Previously we used /o and then followed by a transaction code. Now use /n followed by transaction code. /n. Now you entered into business partner, but when you check, it's only one session. That previous session is killed, but it has taken you to new transaction. So that is the use. /n to kill the current session and then go to the new transaction, and /o it is to keep the current session alive and then open a new session. Okay. Followed by your transaction code. You can call it as T code. Normally we call it as T code, or you can use transaction code. But for every transaction code, there will be a path also. Because sometimes there is a probability that you might be forgetting your transaction code unless until you frequently use. Sometimes you may forget the transaction code. In that case, how to create that transaction? So it is always better to have a knowledge of the path also. Okay. So suppose say here, master data, business partner. So here you will find the transaction codes. So this is the transaction code, one of the transaction code. So if you remember, you can directly type this. From here also, if you double click, it will take you to the screen. Or if you know the T code, you can directly type. So bupa _ BIP _ file _ export. So even if you click there, so it is taking you to the same screen. So if you, in case if you forget, it's better to have an idea where exactly this code is in the path. This is the path, this is the T code, right?
Right. Yeah. So if you click on any of them, it shows you the T code, right? If you click on any of these, any of the drop downs, Like if you click to
Yeah, it
close
will be
on.
there. Yeah, a certain thing, last 10, 12. So if you add a new transaction, the lowest T code will go off and then it will be replaced with the new one.
Okay.
It's a local memory, you can call it
Okay.
as. So there are certain clients where they say that they don't want to have this local memory. Because
Okay.
in finance, there will be, suppose you want to say some B or P, certain things. So the local
Right.
memories, normally some figures will automatically come. So instead of typing a new value, so sometimes the old value will be picked up. So that's why some clients they say they don't want to have this local memory. But majority
Okay.
of the clients say they want to have a local memory because if you are using certain things very frequently, so just need to give a space in that particular field, then it shows the local memory. So you can choose one of them, which is already being used or you have
Okay.
heard previously. Okay.
I
And
see.
then suppose say I opened multiple sessions. One session, two sessions, three sessions. Now all of a sudden I want to log off from the system. So instead of going to each screen and then closing them off, I have one transaction called /NEX.
Okay.
Okay. So if I click on this, if some data which is not saved also, system will directly take you away from the system. So it kills every session and then logs off from the system if you use
Okay.
this T code. So I say simply /NEX. Now gone. Everything gone.
Okay.
Okay. So again you have to log in. So
Okay. Gotcha.
in case of emergency, if the data is already saved, you can make use of this T code. Okay.
Okay.
So
How
clear
often do you
no?
have to how often
Case
do you
is
have to
okay.
save the data? Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, every time. So normally after every 10-15 minutes, we'll be
It's not
saving the data.
it's not automatic, right? Just because you might make a mistake or something, so you have to save it manually.
Yeah, yeah. I will show
Okay.
you how to do the saving.
Okay.
Hmm? What is this? Some issue. And then regarding the versions, no, the currently it is in 7.0. After that, so suppose say you have only one new feature got added. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So instead of going for a different version, what they say, we have packages, enhancement packages. We call it
Okay.
as EHP, enhancement package. Suppose
Okay.
in sales capability you added one functionality, in marketing two functionalities, service three functionalities. So only for these 5 scenarios you don't want to create a new version altogether. So that's why
Right.
they introduce in between the EHPs. So EHP1, EHP2, EHP3, 4, 5 like that. Okay. So now currently I think EHP5 is running for SAP CRM 7.0. So normally in which server did you work? So if somebody asks, you need to say EHP it is CRM 7.0 EHP5. So like that the versions will be there with the enhancement packages.
Okay.
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 initial screen also it shows what is the version of your system. Okay. And if you want to see system status, here also it shows. So component SAP CRM. So you place your cursor. So above 7.0. It is the version 7.0. Okay.
Sure. Okay.
So more details you will find here. So these are all some technical aspects of your server. What else you can see? So this is to continue or enter. This is back. This is exit. So sometimes you just want to cancel the transaction. So some data are given, but you want to just come out of the screen. So you can use this icon. Okay. So to cancel it, or to log off from the system. So from system you can click on this log off.
Okay.
Okay. So these are all the things which can be used. Then what else?
And then this is the save icon, right? Just
yeah, save icon. So this icon is for saving. So you go to, or you can use Control S also. So like how you are saving your any of the document. Even in SAP you can use Control S. So anytime. So after 1 minute or 2 minutes or whenever you entered something, you can always say Control S. So that's not an issue.
Okay.
Okay. So otherwise, if you are entering any data, then it will be activated, that saving option. So just now click on certain thing to create. Now see, the save option got activated. Or you can see the shortcut, Control S. Okay.
Okay.
So anytime, so if you are doing anything, system will always prompt you with some information.
Right.
Okay. So now see, I just wanted to create some business partner. Then I'm clicking on cancel. Then system will ask you. Data will be lost, cancel anyway. Yes.
Right.
So always read what the system is saying. So even if it is an error, system will try to give some information about the error or some information so that from that particular information itself you can correct the error. So sometimes some missing data is there. So its system says, so I'm unable to save this transaction because so and so is missing. So you can fix it up. So always before doing anything, just carefully read the message given by the system, then try to analyze what is that. So what is the exact problem? What is the error? Okay.
Right.
So if anything is successfully saved, it says changes were not saved in green. So in SAP, if it is yellow, anything in yellow, it is a warning. Okay, it gives some information, but still you can save the transaction. If anything is in red, so if the data won't be saved, it will be cancelled. So, so these two things. Okay.
Okay.
So I think from tomorrow we can straight away jump into the subject now. So now we got the look and feel of SAP, how to log in, what are all the different options available in the screen. Okay. So now we can start from tomorrow. Okay.
Okay. I'll go over this a couple of times again today, just to make sure I have everything. So
yeah, I think you'll be. I think you need to download that software as I told you, right? So that Lavan pad, there will be a software. So for 5 to 10 minutes it takes to install on your system. Then if they need to provide this server access, then only you can start working on the system. Okay.
Sure. Okay. Sounds good.
So now you can click on stop recording so that it will be saved and then converted into a video. Okay.
Okay. Thanks for your time.
See you tomorrow. Same day.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.